how do I face like the challenges of like everyday life with a smile. And it's something also I teach and I train people for, like smiling and trying to be happy every day, find the pleasure in small things, enjoy our life on board, which is a very, very special life. So this is how I face my daily challenges. Hello, I'm Claudia. I'm the Learning Officer on board the Costa Fascinosa. I've been working in Costa Crociere for the last 2 years. In my previous career, I was a trainer and also I developed my career in retail. Two things that are really useful now in my current career as onboard learning officer, because we train people in different soft skills, but one of these, and very important, is sales techniques. The learning officer is part of the HR team. It's a very small team, it's just made of a few people. One is the HR director, who is the chief of the HR department. The HR director deals with all the things contracts, embarkation, disembarkation, disciplinary. Then we have a new person on board, a new introduction in the team, the crew experience specialist, dealing with all the things of the crew, the activities of the crew, starting from the day they embark to the day they disembark. Then we have the TAC operator, only for Brazilian seasons, who is a person in charge of the time schedule of Brazilian crew members. And then we have the learning officer, so my role, the person in charge of learning and development of the team, soft skills, and also language training. Learning officer is in charge of the learning and development activities of the crew members. We support them in many different ways, sometimes also online through the help in logging into an e-learning platform we have available on board. And also we do face-to-face lessons, sometimes one-on-one, also let's say for leadership journeys, and sometimes in groups with many different people. The range of topics we develop and the range of topics we teach are actually different from time to time, and they range from languages, so different languages, also according to the nationality of the learning officer, of the speaker. So maybe sometimes I teach Italian, for instance, or I can teach French, and I can teach English. And at the same time also we teach other soft skills and many other important things, such as company culture. So we try to communicate our values and behaviors. And in addition, we also deal with, as I've just said, with soft skills to improve. In the end, the objective is to improve NPS, so the Net Promoting Score, and also OBR on board, which is the onboard revenue. So we develop many courses, many trainings to make sure that all crew members feel empowered to do their best in their job and also according to the company standards. So I have a fun story I would like to share with you. As you probably can tell, I lose my voice quite often, and last year I was on board Costa Toscana and I was doing an Italian course, and the thing is that I completely lost my voice, so I decided to use the fact that I'm Italian, so I move my hands a lot, as we are known for, and I was writing the word on a flip chart, and I was like doing the gesture, mimicking the word on the flip chart. So I did 1 hour of training without speaking a single word. So it was like extremely fun. Everybody like was laughing so hard. For instance, I was writing on the flip chart something like "I don't care," and I was like, in Italian we do like this, or many other gesture, like I was writing "smart" and I was doing this. So we had like lots of fun, but it was really interesting because it was a lesson without a single word. So this was also to explain that, as we know, the non-verbal communication is much more than the context or like the thing we're trying to say. So the typical day of a learning officer, or let's say my typical day, starts usually around 7:30 when I'm supposed to wake up. because sometimes, let's say, especially in the past season, when we were in Mykonos or when we were, let's say, in Santorini, and we were anchored outside of the port, the anchor like dropped around 6:30 just below my cabin. So, when I woke up, it was a bit strange, and it wasn't, let's say, my usual waking up time. Then my day starts. I have coffee, sometimes with my colleagues. It depends who I find in the different messes I go to. Then I check my emails and see if I have any urgent things to do. Otherwise, if I have a scheduled planning, let's say, I have lessons to deliver, then I do the workshops, I do the lessons I planned some days in advance. It happens sometimes that we do some briefings with the team, so with the HR director and now with the crew experience specialist, and we align our activities during the day and we plan for the days to come. Sometimes, let's say, it depends also on the port, it depends on the day, we have drills. So we have security safety drills, and so around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we perform the drill. Sometimes it's partial and you have to take part in it. Sometimes it's like general drill, so with all the crew. Then we go for lunch, normally again with the team or with all the colleagues you find in the corridors, and sometimes you group up and have a chat whilst you're having your lunch, and also take a coffee all together with a little chocolate. And then, considering this is such a peculiar job and we visit different ports every day, and maybe one day you're in Mykonos, the other day you're in Malta, and today we're in Marseille, for instance, normally during the afternoon we take a walk, or we have the fantastic opportunity to visit such amazing places, and we go and get souvenirs, for instance, to bring to our family and friends waiting for us back home. Then the second part of the day starts with maybe other lessons, other documents to check, especially when we have like days where crew embark. So we check their documents, their certifications, and normally we close the days, again, checking emails to see what we have to plan for the days to come. Then normally we have dinner, sometimes we have some visitors on board, so maybe we share the things that happen during the day with our visitors on board. We have dinner, and then there are plenty of activities for all the crew, organized by the HR team, especially by the crew experience specialist. So we can do many things, like, let's say, going to the spa, going to a master class offered by one of our colleagues. We can also go to the crew bar or other places. Maybe we can have a pizza together, and also take advantage, as I've just said, of these amazing activities for the crew. All the crew members, also learning officers, we work long hours every day, and we work 7 days out of 7 for very long contracts. So how do I face like the challenges of like everyday life with a smile? And it's something also I teach to, and I train people for, like smiling and trying to be happy every day, find the pleasure in small things, enjoy our life on board, which is a very, very special life. So this is how I face my daily challenges. But I think we have, in this very special job, we have something special, which is the sea. It has an extremely calming effect. So because everybody has a bad day, sometimes if I have a bad moment or a bad day, I just go out, watch the sea, and relax and calm down. And this is really special to me. Of course, then I have many, many satisfactions during the day, especially when I see little by little that the trainings we provide as learning officer contribute to the development of the people. When they change their job, when they speak a new language, it's just amazing. It's fantastic to see how people can develop thanks to your contribution. So I have a very special wow moment, and it's actually really recent. A few weeks ago, my husband visited me here on board, and I gave him a surprise. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary, and he doesn't work on board, so he visited me as a guest, and I gave him a surprise. So I told him that he had a private visit on board with the captain, and he was supposed to visit the bridge. So I asked him to dress himself like very elegantly, and so because I organized this surprise visit for you. But then in the end, it was a kind of a real wedding. And the best thing about this, that when my husband arrived to the bridge with the help of the HR director, the crew experience specialist, the master, hotel director, F&B director, everybody helped. And so I had a sort of second ceremony, like wedding ceremony, with also like a bouquet of flowers. We had like a sort of wedding reception. It was amazing. And my husband was really, really surprised and really moved. So what I discovered, it's something I already knew, but I saw it again and again, that Costa creates a sense of community. It's something that we have inside of ourselves, but I can see that every day, and I kept seeing that also in that very special moment. So the best thing about being a community is also being like a Costa community is that the things that for some people are very different and very special, for us become like our way of, like our normal ways, our normal life. Let's say, I will make an example. Every day we happen to eat Filipino food, Indonesian food, Indian food, and Italian food. And this is something really special for the people outside, but it's something really normal for the crew members, because we created this community with many different nationalities on board, and this is one of the best parts, creating a community with many different nationalities, as I just said, different religions, different sexual orientation. But the best thing is that everything is good, everything is perfect, and we accept each other, and we respect and protect each other in our differences. If I have to give a recommendation to someone who wants to work on board, I would say do it, because the opportunities are endless here. You can, I mean, this is a ship, so you can work everywhere, from food department, bar department. You can be a learning officer like me, so you can work in HR department. You can also work in housekeeping. You can be an entertainer, and you can work also in deck and engine, for instance, and be a future captain, a future engineer, because as I've just said, the opportunities are really endless in a place like this. So if you're thinking and you have doubt about starting or not, do it now. So the object I would like to show you is actually a project, and this is what I did, or I started doing actually 2 years ago. During my first embarkation, I had a very nice porthole in my cabin, and I started doing pictures of the same porthole in Doha, with the skyline of Doha. And then it was Dubai, and then it was Abu Dhabi during the Emirates season, and it was amazing. I restarted this year on board Costa Fascinosa. So as you can see here, Il mondo da un oblò means in English the world from a porthole. So this is the porthole of my office. And so I started with Santorini, Mykonos, Malta, Marseille, and you have many, many different places of this season. And I think it's kind of interesting, and I think it will be like a memory that I will keep also doing for the next contracts to come.
Bravissima.
Ok, è andata.